why you should be working with experts that actually understand what it is that you do in your business. Now, our secret sauce that we've used for many years is ultimately coming down to the fact that we are entrepreneurs ourselves. We're business owners. We understand how to grow and scale businesses. And through having this level of understanding and then complemented with our financial expertise, it allows us to bring a really unique amount of value to our clients. It allows them to get some pretty amazing results. One of which I was working with a client recently, Veronica, who runs a number of psychology practices. She's been able to 2x her business and almost 8x her profit as a result of working with us. Well, I'm not a health professional. I'm definitely not a psychologist. How are we able to deliver so much value when Veronica had basically gone a long time without being able to seek those kinds of results? So I'm going to give you some frameworks that are ultimately going to help you, and hopefully we're a good fit to see if we can work together. So in my experience, there's the numbers themselves and there's the story that the number tells that ultimately determines the value that you get as a result of working with any particular professional. Now, I find that there's lots of professionals out there, whether they be accountants, financial advisors, business coaches, who can talk the lingo. They understand the numbers, but do they really understand the story? And this is ultimately where many of these individuals are limited by the value that you extract from them. You've got to bring the ideas to the table. You've got to bring the opportunities to the table. You've got to bring the situations, and they can apply their financial knowledge in order to try and help you navigate those particular decisions. But are they the ones that are actually bringing the strategies and the knowledge to the table in the first place? In the vast majority of cases, in my experience, probably not. Because you see, for the vast majority of these business experts or finance experts, they've come from a financial background and they have applied it to business owners. Typically, they apply it to people more broader than that. We focus specifically on working with business owners, and the vast majority of our clients are multi-six figures or seven-figure business owners with a scatter of eight-figure business owners. And what do those people share in common? Well, they've got a proven business model. They know what they do works. So they've got a track record. They've proven the kind of basics, the kind of minimum viable of their business. Because it's interesting. There's a lot of businesses out there that are below mid six figures that haven't achieved that level of scale. Because to be frank, unless you've got to that kind of $500,000 a year mark, there's still opportunity that you don't have a great product market fit. And for that reason, these people need marketing. They need sales. They need to focus on the things that allow them to validate their offer, and they're probably premature to be working with us. I have worked with some clients who've been lower than that, but they've had to meet a certain criteria in order to get past that stage where we can really add our value. Now, the second part they have in common is that they are not financial folks. They don't want to deal with the financial lingo. They don't want to have to learn this entire different language. They want somebody who can speak to them in a way that ultimately they can understand. That is in business speak, in entrepreneur speak, that will ultimately allow them to go and take that back into their business and make informed and educated decisions around their growth. For a moment, while I just grab myself a raspberry from my raspberry bush here. Look at that. Delicious. I'm going to grab another one here. So, the point here being is that if you can get somebody who speaks your language, it makes it a whole lot easier for you to be able to grow and scale your business, because you don't need to lay those new foundations, those new fundamentals in a completely different language that is the language of finance. I see a lot of finance professionals bringing a lot of expertise to the table, but not necessarily in layman's terms that allow average everyday people in order to implement it easily. Now, just because you've got a seven-figure or multi-seven-figure business doesn't mean that you have to know all of this stuff. So you need somebody who can talk the same lingo. And you also need somebody who's not going to focus on vanity metrics. I see a lot of finance professionals focusing on things that don't ultimately move the needle forwards. I'll give you a prime example. We're working with a particular client at the moment, has an immensely profitable and high-growth business. Great profit margins, 37% operating profit margins on average. And the issue is when we started digging deeper, is his accountant, a great accountant, had made a recommendation for this particular individual to draw what's called director's loans from his business, the nasty Division 7A loans. And that loan account has accumulated to now over $4 million. Now, without the client knowing, when we quizzed them on this, they said, my accountant told me to do it. And what they don't realise is the tax issue that this has created without a proper plan that can ultimately create some big liquidity problems as they kick that tin down the road. This is about understanding what the client is actually trying to achieve, be able to explain it to them in a way that they can understand, and ultimately help them make informed and educated decisions that are going to allow them to charge forward confidently. I know, because I've seen this millions of times before, accountants make this recommendation because it reduces the tax bill for the client up front anyway, makes them look like an absolute hero, and they've got 7 years to worry about it. So they'll cross that bridge when they get there. And ultimately, it's the client that's left to foot the bill, not the accountant. So when I work with a client, it doesn't matter if they're an allied health professional, whether they're a gym owner, whether they're a tradesperson, whether they be a hospitality venue. The first thing I do is I help them create a 20-year financial roadmap. That financial roadmap takes into account all of their lifestyle and financial goals outside of the business. And what we do is we reverse engineer that into an action plan, and I help them set an income target where I can say, Mr. and Mrs. Client, if you want to live in that house, drive that car, go on these holidays, then you need to earn $257,000 a year, whatever the number might be. Then we say, great, your business either supports that right now, it doesn't support it right now, but you could pull these levers and you would be able to achieve that particular outcome. Or thirdly, maybe you've got to realign your expectation with what is realistic based on your past history, or you need to do something fundamentally different. This shifts the mindset completely. They now have a connection to their activity and their business, to the outcomes that are really important to them. Next, we review their financial operating system in their business. We help them implement a cash flow structure that we call the Profit Mastery Machine. On average, helps our clients increase their profit by about 15 to 20%. Make sure they never have a surprise tax bill ever again. Next, we help them understand what can they do to maximize profit, maximize cash flow, and improve the value of their business. As I've spoken about on numerous videos, we want to build wealth independent from our business. We want to take that business profit. We want to turn it into personal wealth. But we also want to build that potentially tax-free wealth by ultimately getting your business to a liquidity event at some point in the future. We've been able to do that successfully for many of our clients, and it's allowed them to accumulate millions of dollars in tax-free investment assets as a result. And then we help them implement the right metrics, the right KPIs, so they can track the things that matter most. And what this does is it gives them confidence, and it gives them the ability to have clarity on exactly where they need to focus their attention to achieve their results. So I'm just come down to see little birds here. And that's as simple as that. So if you're in your business, you're doing multi-six figures, 7 figures, potentially even 8 figures in your business. You feel like you should be earning more at this stage of the game. You feel like you're constantly toing and froing between reinvesting back into your business and building your wealth. And maybe you're burning the candle at both ends because you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel for you to be able to buy back your time and do more of what you love. What do you reckon, Aureus? Well, I can help. Click the link in my bio, jump on the wealthhealthcheck.com.au, complete our financial performance scorecard, and let's book a time and see how we can help. It's been a bit of a long video, but I wanted to give you guys a bit of a crash course of how we do things and what we bring to the table, and hopefully we can help you. Any questions, let me know in the comments.